Welcome to Solve This Murder. I'm your detective, Bill.
And I'm your crime scene criminal and witnesses, Dani. We're doing a new one today, just a little baby one, just a little one.
You're expecting this to be quite short because you've adapted a short story rather than novel?
Oh yes, this is an adaptation of an Agatha Christie short story who I'm not telling you the name of just yet. I did tell you a few weeks ago, but
forgot.
Thank God. But yeah, this is a particularly short mystery.
So we're expecting not the
10
parts of Tragedy in Transit, more likely the 2 parts of
much.
$1 Million Bond Robbery.
Definitely.
Okay.
It's much closer to that. It's from the same book as that, in fact.
Mm-hmm. All right, well, I'm good to go. For people playing along at home, play along at home. I don't know how long this will be. You may only have one opportunity to give in a guess before the reveal. But even if this is short, if it's like a 2-part mystery, if you think you're like halfway through part 2 and you want to make a guess, just tell us where you got up to and where you want to make your guess, and we'll take that into consideration for a tiny wall of tiny detectives.
Now, what I will say is if you want an interim title for this one, you could call it Poirot's Failure.
Ooh.
In the short story collection, this one is described as the one that he failed.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to be better than Poirot.
That's the plan.
Okay. Maybe people are new to the show right now. Let me tell you the situation. Dani has adapted an Agatha Christie. Sometimes we'll write original ones. Often we do. Usually they're original. Maybe we're swapping off one for one now. And I'm going to try and solve it. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what this mystery is. I don't know how to solve it. I'm going to lead the investigation. I'm going to see what I can do. Dani, I don't know if there's more preamble.
Not so much. Let's get you started.
Let's post-amble.
Well, I'm not going to put you to work.
Let's just amble.
Not even for a moment, because you're on holiday. You're holidaying in the French countryside. It's
lovely.
Spectacular. I have simultaneously called it the countryside and the beach, so that's a strong start for my notes. You're at a very, very rural beach that one might describe as French countryside.
Right.
And while that is happening, you're approached by a young woman.
Ooh, hello.
I also have the fun part here of a lot of the characters in this one are French. I figure...
Dani, you do whatever level of accent you'd like.
I'll give this first one an accent,
But
and
will it
then
be a French accent?
no one else. Let's find out. All of the others will get miscellaneous accents, and you can just assume there's a layer of Frenchness on top of them.
Sure.
Excuse me? I've seen your face. You're Detective Bill, yes?
I am Detective Bill. Thank you very much.
I don't want to disturb you. Is this okay?
No, that's all right. Look, I've been on holiday for 18 days, and 3 days in, I wanted another murder to solve. So this I really hope you've got a crime for me.
Only 18 days. Matt, in Europe, that is a short holiday. You deserve more.
I don't want more. I want to get back to work.
Curious, but this is spectacular for me. Thank you so much. 3 days ago, my cousin-in-law died of heart failure.
Now, when you say it's your cousin-in-law,
yes,
is this your partner's cousin or your cousin's partner?
My cousin's partner.
Okay, great.
I was cousin to his wife.
Now, I was so obsessed with figuring out your relationship with this person. Mm-hmm. Did you tell me a fact about them?
He died of heart failure.
Oh, okay, cool. He's
3
dead.
days
so
ago.
Sorry. I'm so sorry. I was busy working out the family tree.
It is a tragedy in so many ways, and the problem is it is already being described as, yes, heart failure, but I don't believe so. I don't see how it could have been a natural death. He was so strong. He was so robust and lively. And
Are you having an affair with this man?
No, certainly not.
Okay, this felt slightly euphemistic.
Oh, no, I would never say such things. But if I were saying such things, it would be okay. His wife, my cousin, she is passed on sometime.
Oh, okay. When you say sometime, years?
Yes, many years. They married many years ago, and she died reasonably early, after only a couple of years. Very tragic, very sad.
That is tragic. Well,
but
anyway.
That is not what we're investigating. That was a death. This, I believe, is a murder.
Well, look, as much as I'm sitting here wanting to solve a crime, I don't think he was so hale and healthy, isn't it? Do you have any other reason you might think it's a murder? Or at least an unnatural heart failure?
Okay, you may... I don't know if while you're on your vacation, you have been paying attention to the French news?
No, I don't read the news.
Okay, so
in French.
You may not have heard of him. His name is Paul Deroulade.
Paul Deroulade. No. Why should I know Paul Deroulade?
He is a prominent figure, and he has all but promised a high-up position in the French cabinet.
Ooh.
And the very night he died was the night that the minister whose position he was going to take announced his resignation.
Interesting.
You see? Suspicious, no?
Do you think someone else wants the position?
I suspect that he had many political enemies. He is very strong in his beliefs. I personally do not agree with everything that he says. He is a dominating figure, and he made a lot of people angry.
Okay, so perhaps not necessarily a motive to take his position so that he doesn't get it, but rather just to stop a controversial person having that position.
It is not impossible.
Interesting. I suppose I should I need to know more about the circumstances. Just the fact that he's killable doesn't mean he was killed.
No, yes, absolutely. He died in his holiday house in Brussels. I was staying there at the time. A few people were staying there at the time. You are welcome, and I invite you to the house to investigate, please.
Let's do it. I hope I'm on a northern French beach.
It's Europe. It takes you half an hour to get to Brussels.
France is pretty big, I'm just saying. If I was in Nice, that's pretty far
Still
away.
all within half an hour of Brussels somehow.
Well, on the way, I'd like to maybe get some details as we travel to Brussels.
Yes, certainly. I can tell you what I know. I was in the house. I was not in the room where it happened.
You say you were in the house, but so were others. Who was on this holiday trip?
Okay. So, people in the house. There were 2 other house guests.
Also, who are you?
My name is Virginie. Like Virginia would be your.
Okay.
So, yes, I was there. There were 2 other house guests at the time. Monsieur de Saint-Allard. Would you like me to spell that for you?
Hold on. It's going to be D-E.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
This is 3 words.
S-A-I-N-T.
Correct.
Saint.
Yes.
Song.
Uh-huh.
And say it one more time.
Monsieur de Saint-Allard.
A-L-A-D-E.
A-R-D.
A-R-D.
And the D is small.
Oh, you mean the word, not the one at the end of Allard?
No.
Because I thought that,
Of course.
French lady. I know that it ends with a lowercase d.
This is fair. Monsieur de Saint-Allard was a neighbor of his at his main house in France.
Oh, okay. Well, so obviously friends.
I can only assume.
If you're traveling to your neighbor's holiday home to stay with him, I'm pretty sure you're at least
I must be honest,
pretending to be friends.
I must be honest. Yes, I did not spend much time with either this man or the other guest, Mr. John Wilson, a friend from England.
Okay.
The person I spent the most time with was Madame de Roulard, Paul's mother.
Okay, I was going to say,
No,
his wife has been dead for a while.
Yes.
I've heard this.
You think I would call my own cousin Madame de Roulard?
I don't know. How well do you know your cousin?
Ridiculous. And I suppose I should include the servants.
Nah.
Okay.
No, please. Include the servants.
There are 4 of them. Jeanette and Felice. They are just newer hires, young country girls. And then the 2 older who have been there for many, many years are Denise, she is the cook, and Francois, the manservant.
A valet?
No cars involved.
No, but we're in France, so I'm assuming you wouldn't pronounce it for valet like you would in England, because that's the anglicization
We have gone to war over smaller things. That's why I say manservant.
Okay. All right, lovely. So there were the 4 servants and I suppose, 5 non-servant guests. Paul, his mother, you, Monsieur de Saint-Allard, and John Wilson.
If you consider Paul a guest in his own home, yes.
I didn't say guests, I just said people.
You said guests.
Well, I meant people.
Okay. Anything else you'd like to know? Again, I don't have all the details, just my hunch, but...
Your hunch?
My hunch.
This is where Paul died.
This house? Yes. It was early evening after dinner, quite sudden. Like I said, I was not in the room where it happened. It was in the study, and I believe that Monsieur de Saint-Allard and Monsieur Wilson were both in the room with him.
I got to shorten Monsieur de Saint-Allard. I'm going to call him Deezer. D-E-S-A. Deezer.
Nus? Deezer Nus?
No. With Deezer and Wilson.
You could just call him Allard.
I'm not. Oh, fine, I'll call him Allard.
Better than Deezer.
I'll call him Allard.
In my own notes, Madame de Roulard was too long for me, so I start calling her Madame D.
Fair.
I can't get out of the accent now.
All right, so died in this study. This was after dinner. Sudden death. And he was in the room with Allard and Wilson, 2 known poisoners.
Oh.
No, they're not, sorry. But I'm just inventing a backstory so they're easier to arrest later.
You suspect poison?
If it's heart failure, I would
Yes, yes.
assume if it's not natural, it's poison.
I see.
Unless someone
Oh.
spooked him really bad dressed up as a ghost.
Already talking about who the culprit could have been, I admit I did not think quite that far ahead. This is now making me nervous.
You came
I
to
know,
me.
I know.
You walked up to a murder investigator on a beach and you said, hey, my cousin's husband died of a heart failure, but I don't think it was natural. And then you're freaking out because I suggest poison?
Not the poison that you suggested.
Or that a person did it?
Well, yes, that's uncomfortable.
You brought this to me.
Oh.
This was your plan. Okay. This was after dinner. How long had you been all staying there at this point? Was this partway into a holiday, a few days in, or the day you arrived?
It was not the days that I arrived, but I was the most recent of the guests.
Okay,
I
so-
don't know how long the others
Sure,
were.
but
Did not
at
talk.
least, maybe a couple of weeks or something, or a few days at the very
It may
least.
have only been days.
All right, but sure.
Yes.
It ended a holiday. It didn't begin it.
Now, I don't know how this works. Do you need some sort of font to get into the house? You could pretend to be a journalist. He was a very important figure, and Madame de Roulade, she owns the house now, I suppose. She's very sick. She won't ask questions if you say that you work with the papers.
Yeah, okay, sure.
Sweet. Love a good disguise.
Wonderful. I'll be in disguise.
All right. She probably doesn't have a huge amount more outside of loose impressions of people, maybe at a stretch, but you're more than welcome to just ride along in whatever carriage, train, plane you decide.
Sure. Let's get to the house. Let's do some
Okay,
investigation.
great. You find the house. It is, as expected, a pretty reasonably sized holiday house. Definitely not in the main centre of Brussels, but in one of the nicer, quieter spots.
Yeah, lovely.
It is reasonably separated. It's got a good distance from the other houses, so external things going on is not what you would expect. But the area, the general vibe that you get from the area is, it feels small town in the middle of, with a city off a ways. It's giving small town vibes. You get the feeling that the people who are holidaying here don't go into the city. They stay in this little zone.
It's a little holiday area.
Exactly.
Sure, all right. The house is there. There are houses nearby, but not close enough that
Correct.
you'd shoot a poison dart out of the window
Certainly
into the,
not.
into the study.
And yeah, a small number of shops can be seen in a scattered sort of area, but
Okay. It's interesting. I should eventually try and... So she doesn't really know much more about these people?
especially about these two strangers, no,
Yeah.
definitely not.
All right. I might have to find them, but I can at least talk to some of the servants or Paul's mother. I'll go in, I'll knock on the door. I'll see if I
Okay.
can maybe try and... Just because it's also rude not to, maybe we'll try and talk to Paul's mother.
All right, lovely.
To Madame de Roulade.
You knock on the door. Virginie says, "We can just go in." But no, you're right. It's polite this way. And a girl answers the door. You suspect that it's either Jeanette or Félicie.
Or Felice.
Yes. Hello. Oh, Virginie, you are back. Why knock? Who's this?
I'm the
Boyfriend?
reason for knocking. No. I just wanted to introduce myself to Madame de Roulade. I'm writing a story about the tragic passing of
You are the
Paul.
papers.
Yes, I am the papers themselves.
I understand.
And I
Stuck
just...
with the accent. I didn't mean to. I'm so sorry. I'll cut it. I'll get out of it. Oh, yes, you are from the papers. I understand.
I just wanted to find out a little bit more about him and what was going on, especially at the time of his
Look,
death.
I don't know how Madame is feeling right now. She's sitting in a library. Well, she's sitting in her sitting room. I'll take you to her, I suppose, and we'll see what she says. But I assume it'll be fine.
Yeah, well, look, before we do, could I talk with you quickly?
Oh, I suppose so. That's fine.
Just to get a little bit of background on everything. And...
Sure.
Your name was, were you...
Félicie?
Oh, you're Félicie. Wonderful. You're fairly new here, aren't you?
Oh, yes, this is just a temporary holiday between location sort of job. I expect to travel again soon.
Oh, you like to travel?
Love to travel.
To any exotic and poison-filled locations?
Yeah, that sounds really exciting.
Okay, cool. So how long... You'd been working here just for a few...
For 2 months now.
Oh,
it's,
2 months.
It's more or less a summer job.
All right. You were working here when Paul de Roulade came for a holiday.
Yes, I don't know if I should be giving you a statement until I've confirmed it with Madame that it's okay. After that, I'm more than happy to, though. I'll tell
Oh,
you. I'll,
all right.
I'll say
Okay.
anything.
Okay, fine. I'll go and talk to your boss.
It's a good idea. I mean, most people don't. We get snapped at if we chatter too much. You know.
Okay.
All right. Well, she leads you into a sitting room where you see an older woman. She looks like she has just been enjoying sitting, staring out a window at the peaceful outside. Gives you a bit of a squinted, lean forward sort of look. Says, "Oh, hello, a new guest now? It hardly seems the time."
I'm sorry, madame. I'm not a new guest. I'm a reporter. I work for the Evening Sun.
Oh, a foreign paper, is it?
Yes.
Well, I suppose it's only fair. I understand. Look, I'll tell you anything you need to know about my son and this tragedy that has befallen him. But
Yes, it is a tragedy. I agree.
Yes, it'll make a one night's worth of stories, I suppose.
Well, yeah, it is a tragic circumstance that led to his death, and I'm just the people want to know. The readers of the Evening Sun would like to know.
Well, you do feel free to poke around.
Wonderful. This is working out so well. Can I ask you a few questions about the night that your son
Oh,
died?
certainly.
He was here. He'd been here on a holiday.
This is his holiday house.
Do you live here all throughout the year?
Oh, no, certainly not. This was, for my air. Doctors always telling you to get good air. Oh, goodness, I suppose it is my house now.
It is your house now.
Oh, how very curious. Oh, well, I shall have to do some thinking on that. I do love Denise's cooking. Perhaps I should make a more permanent change.
Well, it's good for your health.
Oh, what's left of it?
Well, exactly. I'm assuming once a doctor tells you you need better country air, it's because you have tuberculosis.
No, this is more a cancer thing, remember?
Oh.
That back in the day they didn't tell you that you had inoperable cancer?
So they just said go get some air in the
Yeah,
country?
they just said go do what you can to feel better.
Yeah. Well, I hope you're all right, lady.
Thank you.
Your son was here.
Yes.
But not by himself. There were some other guests who had joined him.
Oh, yes, that's true. Oh, what are their names again? Yes, obviously, Monsieur de Saint-Allard.
Yes, and Mr. John Wilson.
That's
the
right,
foreigner.
the English one.
Could you tell me about these guests? I don't know them so well, and maybe I can follow up with them and try and do my own interviews of them. But what can you tell me about Monsieur de Saint-Allard?
Oh, he is a very well-regarded man. He is very well known. However, he is, how would one say, an airhead.
Oh, very healthy head.
Oh, I wish it were that way. From what I understand, he often changes topics as if he has been having his own conversation in his head, and he forgets things. Oh, how silly of him. But a very pleasant man and a staunch supporter of the church.
Oh, a religious man. Did he put the saint in his name himself?
I couldn't tell you that. I don't know him that well.
Was your son a supporter of the church? I'm assuming you find it funny because he's such a supporter of the church. Who would even question it?
You do not know my son, do you?
No. Well, I'm just trying to make sure I know him the way I think I do.
This does not count as speaking ill of the dead. It certainly does not. This is just a true statement of fact.
He was a heathen.
My son was turbulent.
Turbulent?
His entire policies were raging about the separation of church and state in quite a violent manner. He was a staunch anti-Catholic. She crosses herself.
Interesting. So...
He has made some very bitter enemies as a result.
Yes, but not Monsieur Saint-Allard? They seemed friendlier than enemies?
Enough, to my extent. He was invited to stay here, or allowed to stay here at least. They can't have hated each other.
Yeah. How interesting.
But I myself am quite a Catholic believer. I know that it's not always a deal breaker, shall we say, in personal relationships.
Sure, I suppose that's true. Although, hey, audience, that's a pretty... I mean, as motives go, a person who's violently anti-church, about to come to a position of power in a room alone with, well, not quite alone, but with a man who really loves the church, is a fair and, I mean, honestly, overly present. It's such a clear motive.
Too big a motive.
Like, did anybody want to kill your son? Maybe the guy who hated everything he stood for right before he was on the cusp of being able to put it into power. But maybe that was Poirot's failure. Maybe he thought it was too obvious. So
I will say at the start of this mystery, it's in the book, it says, Poirot was not that unhappy that he died.
I'm just saying, there's a motive there. A clear clash. And if a person is about to have the power to put their beliefs into fashion, you may have previously been able to stomach it because it was a fringe belief from a person. But in a second, it's about to become enacted state law. You might be like, oh, wait a minute, maybe I need to stop this. But also, maybe if you're super religious enough, you don't like killing people. Maybe he's that kind of Catholic, one who doesn't like to kill people. But there you go, that's interesting.
But these questions are not quite the lines that I expected. I thought you might ask me, did he have an exercise routine? How did he eat and things like that?
Because this is not really a piece about other people avoiding a similar fate. It's more sensationalist and wild.
I see.
And speculative.
Oh, well,
The readers of the Evening Sun don't want to know how to avoid death. They want to know the coolest ways to die.
Oh, people need their fun, I suppose.
Yes. Look, it's not my. I can't take responsibility for their beliefs. I just serve them the food that they want to eat. So anyway, Monsieur Allard, quite religious man. Did you know John Wilson?
I barely knew him at all. Just a friend from England was all I've heard. He's still here. You're welcome to
Oh, lovely.
meet him yourself.
I'm assuming Monsieur Allard is not.
Oh, that is correct. He has gone home. He left yesterday.
Lovely. Well, I will definitely talk to Mr. Wilson. He's still staying in the home even after Paul died.
I suppose he was going to move on a little bit later than expected. This suddenly came out of nowhere.
That's true. He may have planned around it. Okay. Well, very good to know. And your son, what were his exercise habits? How did he eat?
He ate much the same as the rest of us, I believe. So, good traditional French meals. But beyond that, exercise routines, no, he was an energetic man, but I wouldn't say that a heart failure, it always strikes suddenly when it happens. You can't control when you get ill. It was certainly a tragedy, but it's not the most surprising of tragedies.
Interesting. I wonder why. I mean, look, it could just be that she's experienced being a human being where suddenly you can just get sick and die, whereas Virginie is young enough that she is like, no, you have to cough on screen for at least 3 scenes before you're allowed to die of a heart attack.
I've experienced both kinds, the gradual aging-related declines, but then also the one day, bam, your doctor's telling you to get some air.
Oh, I'm so sorry. How did I'm assuming your husband is dead.
Oh, great, sometime, yes.
How did he die? Heart failure?
The war, maybe.
Okay. Political failure. Interesting. I was hoping with the food thing she was about to say, and he was the only one who ate this type of dessert. Nobody else ate the flan. I hope no one poisoned it, but she didn't. Was there anything on the night that he had died, for example, if we're thinking about food,
Sure.
What was the dinner like before he died? He died shortly after dinner, right?
Oh, goodness.
Or at least in the evening
I
after
don't
dinner.
recall anything out of the ordinary
I'll talk to the
about
chef.
the dinner. Yes, that's a good idea.
I'll talk to the chef about the dinner. And you weren't in his study when he died. How did you find
No.
out about the death? What happened?
Oh, there was a big ado, as it happened, shortly after dinner. So I had gone upstairs with Virginie. She needed to help me. I'm not as able as I used to be. And then all of a sudden, barely minutes later, not even an hour post-dinner,
Okay, that's good to know.
shouting, screaming, calls for a doctor.
I'm going to say less than 1 hour. And who was screaming for the doctor?
Men, so I assume the house guests who were in the study with Paul.
And in the study, it was Paul and his two guests.
Mhm.
Were any servants in there with him as well? Perhaps Francois?
Oh, I would find it unlikely. At that time of the evening, Francois is usually off duty.
Okay, interesting. I just know sometimes when people recount these stories, they forget the presence of the staff.
It's entirely possible that he went into the room at some point afterwards when the commotion started, but it's unlikely that he was in there beforehand.
Interesting. All right, so I should try and maybe find out more about the dinner, because if I can, if he died so quickly after dinner, it may well be something at dinner that poisoned him. It also could have been something in the study, right? They may have had drinks in the study and someone slipped in some arsenic, old lace.
Mm-hmm.
But if there is something at the dinner that's like, I was cooking dinner and Francois and Francois came in and said, put these drops in the master's pudding. It's health drops to keep him alive. You never know. So I should definitely talk to the cook about the dinner. And I should talk to John Wilson about being John Wilson. Especially as someone who was in the room when it happened.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, I don't know if I have a huge amount more to talk to them about.
Feel free to go poking around wherever you please.
I might go poking around wherever I please. I think maybe
Just
before
know the house is only probably officially mine, so anything weird you find around here, it was Paul's, not mine.
Okay, that's perfectly fine. I don't know if I expect to find anything weird around here, but sure. I'd like to go to the study.
Mm-hmm.
I think before I talk to anybody else, I should maybe gather enough observations to have more things to ask.
I think that's more than fair. All right, you head into this study. It doesn't look like much has changed in here. It doesn't look like people have been going in and out of here since, but it also looks somewhat neat.
Yeah, if a man flailed in his dying, whatever he knocked over has been picked up.
Yeah, that would be true.
It gives.
Or alternatively, it's a spacious room. This is a big house. He might have just fallen into one of the blank spaces of floor.
Well, that's fair. What is in this room? Do we know?
So we've mostly got some chairs. There is a bar area at one end. I'm making a lot of this up on the spot. I'm picturing a pool table, but there's no mention of a pool table in the story.
Okay.
But let's just assume it's there anyway. Nothing looks particularly out of ordinary, although there is one thing that you notice. On a side table besides one of the lounge chairs, there is a chocolate box.
Oh, a chocolate box.
Chocolate box.
I'm assuming that's a box for chocolates, not made of chocolate.
This is good to question, but you are correct.
Can I have a look at this chocolate box?
You do indeed. It's not a brand that you recognize or anything. You haven't engaged in fancy French chocolates.
Sure.
You open it up. You take off its lid. That's odd. Just a little bit odd. Like, maybe it's normal. But the lid is blue, but the box is pink.
Huh. That's a little bit odd.
Yeah, you feel like normally they match. And you open it up, and it's completely full.
Oh, it's completely full.
Yes. It is full of chocolates.
I don't believe that. By which I mean... No, I think more... I wonder if the other box... I wonder if this is a post-death supplanting of a new base of chocolates.
I feel it is.
That's odd. Why would you do that and keep the old lid and not your new... That's weird.
I feel it is a reasonable time and not unexpected to you to reveal that this story was called The Chocolate Box.
Sure. Well, yeah, that's perfectly fine, because looking at this chocolate box, if I were to disregard this as a clue, I would be a fool.
It's pretty much the only thing in the story where they go around saying, normal, chocolate box.
Yes, clearly this is about the chocolate box. It's completely full, with a pink box with a blue lid. Now, to me, it feels replaced, as if someone has replaced it. But then why would you not just replace the whole box? Or why would you replace the box at all? And why have a different lid to a different base? This is weird. I don't have an... You know, sometimes you see a piece of evidence and you kind of get an idea of what it could imply. I don't understand even slightly what this is implying.
Maybe this is why Poirot failed.
Maybe Poirot failed because it's an impossible mystery. Okay. The chocolates. Are they plain chocolate or are they like poison-filled style, you know? Are they full of liqueur that could be replaced with?
No, they
Poison.
seem like they've got a bit of the soft praline-y centers, but beyond that, they all seem identical and
Interesting.
relatively
Is there
plain.
a company printed on that? Like, do I know who made this chocolate box, or is it a plain box purely in color? I might have to find it.
I would assume that there is a brand on it. What that brand is, I have not been told.
Well, why don't you tell me then what it is?
It is Leland, with some consonants at the end of that word, but you'll never know.
Okay, we'll call it Leyland. Or Leland? Whatever it was.
Yep, Leland.
Leland.
You added the ND at the end. I said nothing.
I've made it Leland.
Yep.
Leland Yutani. Okay. Interesting. And it's full. All the chocolates are...
Mhm.
If I don't know the kind of scurrying one can do. I know Poirot doesn't scurry very often. But if I were to scurry
I don't think you
around
want to
the room-
aspire to be Poirot
he
in this
failed.
case.
If I were to snoop and scurry,
Sure.
can I find any smears or drips or signs of chocolate anywhere else in the room? As if someone sitting at a desk had eaten a chocolate.
Let's say yes, you can.
Okay.
At the ultimate of scurrying, because the servants are no slouches. They clean things pretty well. But let's say yes, here and there, you can find some tiny melted crumblets.
Okay, so
However,
yes,
it's hard to tell how old they are.
that's true. It could maybe more be an indication of the previous eating of chocolate in general rather than on the night in question.
It would be hard to tell.
It's been 3 days. Who has left chocolate here for 3 days? Is it an offering? An offering to the ghost? I don't know. That's interesting. A chocolate box, and that's all. Nothing else. Nothing else in disarray.
No, the pool table's pristine.
No papers on a desk that say, "When I'm in power, I'll kill all Wilsons."
Not so much, no.
Okay.
It was a study. That does sound like a work study, not a play study, doesn't it?
Yeah, I don't know why you put a pool table instead of a desk in here. You are crazy.
But it's his holiday house as well. He doesn't use it like a work study.
He writes letters to the
he
to the
doesn't.
Evening Sun here. Okay.
Got all of his picket signs for the against the church in one corner.
What do they say? What do his picket signs say? What do his anti-church picket signs say, Danny?
Je suis non pas catholique.
I am not a Catholic.
Sure. Close enough.
Imagine standing outside of a church with a big sign that said, "I'm not Catholic." And they're like, "Okay, why are you here?" Look, it's supposed to make sense if he's trying to separate church and state. He's like, "Look, I'm not a Catholic. Why should the state be influenced by Catholicism if that's not a belief that applies to me?" I say we should separate them out. Let the Catholics rule the Catholics. Let the French
Maybe
rule the
back
French.
in these days there was mandatory tithing.
Also, he's in Belgium.
He is right now, yeah.
Why does he have his signs here?
He also is really imperialistic. He wants to take back Belgium.
Okay, he also wants to. Those are his two policies: separate church and state, but include Belgium within state.
Yep.
All right. Okay. All right. That's so interesting that I don't know what this means. Just that it's a chocolate box, but it feels tampered with. It feels odd that it's full. It feels odd that it's multicolored. Okay, that's odd. I'm going to see if I can find Mr. John Wilson.
Oh, okay. So you'll have to go upstairs for that. He's just hanging about in a bedroom, reading something, and he sort of gives a little bit of a, not jump, he's not a jumpy looking man. He's a big, burly sort of guy. But he definitely gives a bit of a head twitch in confusion as you come to his door. All right, who are you then? I don't know you.
Oh, I'm from the Evening Sun, a paper. I'm just here to ask you a few questions, learn a bit more about Monsieur de Roulard.
I haven't heard about it.
You haven't heard about it?
Evening Sun.
Oh, okay. No, that's fine. It's a made-up paper. Mr. Wilson, you're a friend, were a friend, I suppose, of Monsieur de Roulard?
Look, kinda, yeah.
Only kind of? You're here in his holiday house.
I know. Look, we didn't actually know each other all that well. But, you know what? When you call someone and they can be called your friend, and they're rich, you make them a bit of a
closer friend.
I suppose that's true. So,
I had to be in Brussels on business, and I thought I'd ask if he could put me up, save the price of the hotels.
interesting. But you don't know him. I can understand why you would want to extend the friendship so that you have somewhere to stay. Is there any reason he allowed you to arrive? Is he that type of a person, or do you think he liked you more than you liked him?
Look at this place. I think he just had the space and didn't really care. But
Interesting.
he liked a good conversation.
And you're here.
As do I.
You don't seem it.
Mm.
You said you're here on business.
Yeah.
What business would that be, Monsieur Wilson?
No business of yours.
Okay. All right. You're not a chocolatier or anything, are you?
Ugh. No.
You don't like chocolate?
Not so much. Never cared for it. And also, with my heart and my veins, can't be having things like that.
Well, I mean...
Had angina for years.
Sure. Bad heart, okay. Well, I mean, look, you may well be proven right. On the evening, you were there on the evening that Monsieur Rillard died.
Mm-hmm.
In his study?
Yeah.
Could you tell me about that, how that happened?
He went red in the face, and down he fell.
Could you perhaps give me more details? You were in the room, in the study with Monsieur Rillard and Monsieur de Saint-Allard.
Sure.
These guys have the same name.
Yeah, we all went there.
Were you talking about anything in particular before he died?
Yeah.
You're the worst guy! What were you talking about?
Allard and Deroulard did most of the talking.
Okay, and... John Wilson. And what were they talking about?
A lot of French.
Oh my god. Did you eat any chocolate while you were there?
No.
Was there any chocolate while you were there?
Oh, yeah.
Did the others eat chocolate?
Oh, Deroulard did.
Okay, when I said you, it was inclusive of all three of you. My god, Wilson. Okay, hold on. So Deroulard did eat some chocolate.
Sure.
You didn't.
No.
Saint-Allard didn't.
No.
Okay. And you did eat some. You have to, okay. As in, you as a group ate some chocolate.
You're
now,
a very confusing man.
I
thought reporters
I'm not even
used
slightly.
their words carefully.
Wilson, this is not my issue. Now, Wilson, look at me. Look me in the eyes, Wilson. This is going to be a really dumb question, and you're not going to remember the answer. What color was the chocolate box?
You're right. That's a dumb question, and I have no idea.
Okay, all right.
Was it yellow?
I don't know.
My favorites are yellow.
You don't like chocolate?
Back when I could eat them as a child, it was always the yellow.
Oh, are they different flavors in different boxes?
Huh?
Oh, I hate you, Wilson. Okay. Did they seem like they were getting heated in an argument at all? Messieurs Allard and Roulard.
Yeah.
You're so unhelpful. Okay. But you don't know what they were arguing about because it was in French.
Right.
At any point, did Monsieur Roulard pick up a picket sign from the corner of his office and wave it in Monsieur Allard's face?
There may have been some gesturing.
Okay. All right. And he died. He went red in the face and he died. What happened then? Who called for a doctor?
Allard called in that servant man and told him to call a doctor. Didn't help.
Well, yeah, I know. What did you think of Monsieur Allard? Saint-Allard.
Seemed like a bit of a crazy.
A crazy? In what way?
Talked a lot.
In French?
Everything.
He talked a lot, everything.
Just a lot, all the time.
Okay. What do I need to ask this? Look, he's very helpful when I force him to be. He's not refusing to answer questions. He's just not answering.
Just saying
questions.
his description in my notes is a big burly Englishman who speaks in very few words.
And look, that's how he feels.
Nailing it.
Okay, Mr. Wilson. Do you know of any reason the gunpowder treason should ever be forgot?
Now you're speaking my language.
Yeah, let's burn some effigies. Do you know of any reason someone may have wanted Monsieur Paul de Roulard dead.
Oh, yeah.
And, okay, and what reason is that?
Women.
Women? That's not what I thought you might say. I thought you might say the separation of church and state. Which women and why?
We dealt with the church and the state business long ago. In England.
Yeah, you made a new church for your state and stuck them together real thick.
Nailed it. No, yeah. He didn't have many vices, but I hear that women was one. Maybe that's why he kept me close, because I knew that.
So you think you had a secret that he wanted to...
Maybe.
Okay, and these women, were they, say, married to other more powerful people?
No idea who they were, but he
Okay.
seemed to have a way of attracting them. Nonsense
Okay.
to me.
Sure, okay, alright, Mr. Wilson. You've been surprisingly helpful, but I feel like I need to ask you even more This was Poirot's failure! He didn't ask him some extremely specific thing because he was tired of talking to Wilson. Okay, Wilson got all the answers. He knows about the women. I'm going to ask him some... Okay. Now, at any point during the evening, did you see Monsieur de Roulard ingest poison?
Oh,
Was that a no?
he had a heart attack, didn't he?
Yeah, but it could have been caused by poison.
Oh,
Did he eat any poison? Maybe you just saw him get poisoned.
he sits back. He thinks for a bit. He goes, well, to me, chocolate is poison.
Yeah, I
now.
know it's the chocolate. I know the chocolate was poison. I don't even know why I'm asking. Okay, where did the chocolate... Now, here's a real question, everybody. Where did the chocolate come from?
He leans in close, turns
He's
on
gonna
his
say
bed.
he doesn't know.
It was there when we came in.
All right, get out of here. Will. Go home. Go back to England.
Should we end the episode there?
I mean, actually, that was pretty helpful information. Thank you for listening to Solve This Murder. To submit your own guesses for whodunit, send an email to solvethismurderpod@gmail.com. We read every theory we're sent and award the greatest sleuth with a place on our wall of detectives. To support the show, you can sign up for our Patreon and receive weekly bonus episodes, monthly videos, and full access to all parts of new Solve This Murder mysteries on day one. Thanks to all our patrons for supporting us, thanks to Advanced Sagebrush and Shootouts for our theme music, and thanks again to all of you for listening.